Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are watching this video. I'm going to do a how-to video on Crusader Kings 2. It is a 6 to 7 year old game created by Paradox. They've had other games out there. Very good, strong studio from the northwest part of the country. Here in the United States. So this particular how-to video is how to start your kingdom, what you need to do in order to at least get it going off the ground, and what you should be working towards in order to carry on your dynasty all the way to the end of 1452. So it is a real-time strategy game. You can pause it whenever you do feel like it. Those two start screens basically just tell you about the game itself. I do have 2 active DLC that I'm playing with. We will cross those in a minute. I'm actually starting here on the island of Ireland, of Eir. I think it's Eir. I'm starting here. In Iathar Kanachata. I butcher these names on purpose, mainly because I don't know how to pronounce them. Just some quick pointers here. This is your character. You can get to him or clean out anything that you need over here just by clicking on it. This is your council, which we'll get to in a second. Your laws. In here you can actually decide how you want your secession laws, how you want your gender laws, civic and religious laws in here, as well as your kingdom laws when you actually become a kingdom. Obligation, this is what you have your tax base and other various things. Don't think there's anything to... This is pretty self-explanatory. Next is your technology button. This is where you will advance your technology. As you can tell, it does not advance very quickly. You are playing in the Middle Ages, so technology did not advance as quick as it does today. This is your military. This tells you how big your military is. With Legacy of Rome, you get retinues, but you have to actually build up to them in order to actually build these. These are your standing armies at any moment. They are separate than these two. Next, you're going to find intrigue. This is where you're going to know about important decisions, if there are plots against you, where your prisoners are at, and what threats are inside your kingdom. Next is your factions. This will sometimes show up here as threats as well. Next is religion. This will tell you who your religious head is. In this particular case, it's Alexander II. He's a pope. We are Catholic. Last is societies. This is what is part of the base game. These are secret societies, so if you decide that you want to become pagan or Orthodox or some offshoot of Christianity, you can select it in here. And they will give you missions and things that you have to achieve in order to move up the ranks there. So in the first thing here, we're going to work on these 5. I would always, or 6. I would always do these first before you do anything else. These are more important than this, but keep in mind that like your idle council members are over here as well. So we have an unmarried heir. Let's go marry him off. This is your screen to select your spouse. You want to have somebody that will complement him very well and maybe pick up the slack in his 2 areas that he's low in. So in this case, he's low in stewardship and learning. So we want somebody that maybe has high stewardship and learning. So we'll select this. She's got a 14 in learning and an 8 in stewardship. But she's also a courtier. Maybe not a right choice. It already takes you down 200 prestige. So let's see if we can find somebody else. You kind of want to deal with somebody that's a princess, like in this case. Here's somebody that has 10, but her stewardship is just slightly better than his. But it probably wouldn't be a bad choice. But she is a legitimized bastard. So that can actually count against you. Where if there was a claim on a kingdom, she may or may not be able to get it. We'll just look through here. That might be our Princess Navaria. She's got an 8 in learning and a 7 in stewardship. So better in stewardship than him. But learning is okay. Here's a princess here. She's got a 6 in stewardship and a 7 in learning. And this one's 13. He's 26 if I remember right. Yes, he's 26. So you don't want to wait too much longer. I think probably our best. Oh, here's one that's 18 or 19 on stewardship. This affects the men size up here, which I'm 1 of 3. I'm gonna go ahead and select her. I'll take the hit. Oh, there is no hit, so that's a good choice. So we'll go ahead and select that one. Next is going to be ambition. This is what you want to do as a ruler. There are 4 options for me. I can amass wealth, which means I need coin more than 500. Pagan of virtue. My piety is more than 2,000. Have a daughter, which is probably not a very valid option because my wife is 46, so it's past childbearing years. And become the King of Ireland. Right now, sort of unrealistic because we only have 2 of the counties. We need 10 total counties out of here. There are 19 counties you can select out of Ireland. We have 2. We need 8 more. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose amass wealth. It's the most realistic that we have. Next is going to tell you what claims you have, if you have any claims. So you can click that, and it's going to highlight. So in this particular case, we have refine and Uli Main. So we have 2 areas that we can claim. Can't do anything right now. You can actually scout him right now. He has 924 men. This gentleman has 774. Right now my standing army is 824. He's a better choice, but I am pulling men out of here as well. Next is focus. This is the other one that I'm using. This is the Way of Life DLC. Allows certain options. Each one is going to deal with one of these categories here. So this is stewardship, which is right here. This is intrigue. I'm sorry, ignore this here. It's down here. So it's stewardship. Here's intrigue. Here's martial, which is your fighting. This is going to deal with diplomacy, which is here. And theology, which is your learning. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and select business because it's going to increase my stewardship by 2. You can change your rulership, but it doesn't give you your city vassal option. So that's why I select business always. Once you select this, you can't change it for 5 years. So that's okay. Last is our, special minor title that are grantable. That's the next option. In here, I leave these all blank except the one that's highlighted yellow. In this case, a designated regent. And I always select somebody that has some good smarts. So in this case, Ryan, the chancellor of my little area, would be a good choice. Now we have idle council members. I did notice something with Ryan. He has a stewardship of 26. So for the time being, I'm going to replace him with that. I want him to go ahead and start collecting taxes in my area. Can't do anything with the Chancellor of 8. Marshal, he can come and train troops, so we're going to have him train troops in our area. Our Spy Master is actually our wife. I don't necessarily recommend having a female as the Spy Master, though sometimes they do get some better options and they're able to advance technology from other areas. We'll see if we have somebody that has higher. Obviously she does not, so we're stuck there. And then your court chaplain. This is a person that we're going to send off over to Rome, but 8 isn't doing much good for us. Ideally, the lowest number you want here is 12 to 13, but there are some cases that you cannot do that. So in that case, if you don't have anybody that fulfills that requirement of 12 or 13, you can actually search for people. Come down here to the bottom right where it says find character. You can also shortcut by hitting period. I always search the entire world map, and we're going to invite people into our court. Those are people that we know that want to come to our court. So we need a chancellor that's high. Again, a female is not necessarily going to be able to go fabricate claims or sow dissent. Could possibly improve diplomatic relations, but there are some restrictions on what females can do in this game. After all, it is the Middle Ages. So we're going to go with the next available option, which is a commander of Bar. His name is Henry. He's French. So we're going to go ahead and select him. We're going to invite him to court. And we're going to say yes. You can shortcut with C or just click yes or send. I'm sorry. Just on an off chance that we have a marshal that's higher than 16, and we do. So I'm going to go ahead and invite him as well. Stewardship, I'm not going to guess that anybody's better than 26. So I'm not worried there. Spy Master, we have a female that's 20. We have a gentleman, Alberto, Spy Master of Bologna. That's 17. Slightly better. He is Italian, so maybe he can get into places a little bit better. We want to invite him to our court. And then last is learning. He's already a court chaplain in Bourbon. I don't necessarily want to steal him. This guy is 63. This guy is he's 21 years old. He's got a 17 in learning, so he could potentially be here for a long while. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and invite him to court as well. Some of these people that we've selected might not be married, so you want to go ahead and bring some females in so you can marry them. Keep them between 16 and 22. We're going to invite them to court. Oh, I invited a 40-year-old. Well, that's okay. Somebody 70 will marry her. Get a couple more here. Sometimes you can find some that are really good in this area. Intrigue is also another one that you want to look for in this. That's a good handful. Alright. We've done everything that we can do at the start that's required of us. Across the top here, just a couple of things to look at. This is the amount of money that you have. This is your prestige. This is your piety. This is your domain size. This is how big your vassals, or how many vassals you can have. And I'm not entirely for sure. I think this is realm size, total holding, so that's okay. And this is your score. Right now it's 0 because it's a brand new game. I don't know a lot about holdings. I know that if you come in here, you click on the city or click on a county, it'll show you how many holdings you have. It says that I have 5, so I'm going to guess that 2 plus 3 is 5. If I was to build another holding here, I can, but as you can tell, they are very pricey. So only create a holding if you absolutely need to. Okay, so we've done everything that's required of us at the start. Let's go ahead and unpause it. I play it one step up, and we let the game play out as it does. And we'll do a year, just so you can see what your next step should be after this. She's going to accept. We're going to have a lot that's going to accept here in a second. There we go. Okay, my heir is getting married, so we're going to gain some coin. He accepted. Yep. All we're doing is just letting all these people come in. think that's everybody. Yep. There's a couple more that are coming. Go ahead and pull up the council position here. Come back to the council position. And let's start looking to see if we can appoint. So this guy is 15. And we want him to go ahead and start fabricating claims. You'll have options come up. That was to let merchants inside the city. I'm going to get this particular thing. I'm kind of going through it fast. I'm sorry. But at the end, what's going to happen is you're going to get somebody. So he's going to show up into my court. Let's change out this. We want him to go ahead and start studying technology. Now, obviously, you can't study technology here. If it's grayed out, you cannot study. So at the start of the game, if you're starting in 1066, I recommend finding a spot that's green. This is going to be your most populated areas. I can't go to the Byzantine Empire, but there are characters that you can start with that do allow you to go to the Byzantine Empire. So in this case, I'm going to go to Grenada. Here's an option that allows me to mint for coin or debase the mints with less. And that's the one I'm going to take because it gives me gold and prestige. But it also gives me a couple of things. One, I will gain the chance of being greedy, but there's a 25% chance I'm also going to gain the trait deceitful. So we're going to go ahead and take that. Let's see what it gives us. It gives us greedy. We didn't become deceitful. Here actually shows you some of your traits that you have. I increased my stewardship by 1. That's good. I'm zealous. I'm craven. I'm a coward, which is going to suck if I have to get into a war. I'm cruel, which means I'm a sadist. I'm also just. And I can scheme. And here's my aspiring trader. I'm going to go back here to laws. We didn't select one. For now, I'm going to go ahead and push my realm to low centralization to increase my domain size and my vassal count. We have a child here that's lacking a guardian. Let's go ahead and assign a guardian, and we can tell that this person is also needing to be betrothed. Let's assign a guardian. My steward is a good option for him. Now let's see if we can find, this is a princess, it's the age 12, that's a 6-year difference. So she's going to reach childbearing at 45, that means my guy would be 36. I'm not going to select her, but that might be the only one that we can go with. Let's see if we have somebody that has high intrigue. That one's 12, 5. This one hasn't even started learning. That's not good. 5. She's ill and a bastard. Has a stutter. She's 19, 12. This one's 8. This one will be okay. Still just a courtier. But we'll go ahead and select her. No prestige gained either across the board. So we'll send that one off. And we'll get that one back in a second that says it'll prove it. Last one is the court here. And it looks like that the bishop didn't come. So we need to go find a bishop. Reset. Select yes. High learning. He's a chancellor. We'll invite him to court. This one's 14. We will also invite him to court. If by chance that their ambition is to be chaplain or steward or something, and they have a higher total than what is over here, then I would recommend bringing them in, because that means that they're achieving something and they're more likely going to be loyal to you. All right. He's 15. He has a claim. We're going to take him. We're going to put him at the papal, or in the pope. Last is the ducal claims. Now, if you remember, We only have 1,000, basically 1,000 men, which means that we're maxed out. We can do a couple different things to increase this. The first thing is come to your holdings, and you can build. So in this case, I have 2 areas I can build up. This is going to give me 100 more people total, 100 more soldiers. This here will increase my levy size and my tax income. This one down here is going to increase how many ships I can have. So I think in this particular case, I've got the money. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And now it's giving me the option to do an expedition, which we'll do. We're going to go ahead and take some losses here on some money. Oh, it didn't let me build. There we go. We can come back and do a scouting report on him. He's at 811. He is maxed out. So I like my chances. We're going to go off on an expedition. We'll do this, and then we'll call an end to this video. The next video that we will do is going to be how to take a county. Hopefully by then we'll have a claim on this, and we will increase our soldier size because we're building here. We're just waiting right now for the expedition. Apparently he knows a thing or two. He's trusting, he's ambitious, and he's kind. Looks like he has claim. Oh, he doesn't have a claim. He has 1 child. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take the strong horses. Go ahead and let him be hungry. The other thing you can do, I'm going to go ahead and, we're trying to get some money out of this guy and set up a trade route. So I'm going to go ahead and say this arguing needs to stop. The other thing you can do to gain troops, if you have a place that has a flag, it's going to be profitable. If you have a place that has a flag, you can actually revoke the title. In this particular case, we can't because we do not have 50 prestige. We will. So now we can come over here and we can revoke his title. He's going to be upset, so is all my other vassals. This is, I'm going to reward my steward. You don't have to, but I always do because that increases your counselors' liking of you. So always, anything that can benefit people liking you, you want to do. In this case, it makes sense for me to revoke his title, which we'll discuss the ramifications on revoking titles the next time we do one of these videos. I appreciate you coming by and checking this out. Make sure to catch us live on the weekends at 9 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/Von Swain. You can also look at other how-to videos listed below on the YouTube channel here. And make sure that you give us a follow and turn on the notifications so you're alerted when the next video is uploaded. Thank you for coming by, and we'll see you on the next video.